Well, this is one of my happy places, Steve. I am here with Steve Owens of Bustani Farm, and it is just magical here. What you are doing, not only because it's just a delight to come and shop here, but it's truly, you can't get these plants from anywhere else. So tell me a little bit about yourself and about Bustani and your mission here.
Okay, well, our nursery, my wife and I, Ruth, we wanted to create a nursery years ago, and she's the business brains. Her degrees are in accounting. I just get to be the plant nerd, the plant geek. But I always wanted to have a nursery that plant geeks like myself would want to come to. To find things you don't find other places, because after you've grown the same old plants for a while, you want to try something cool, something new. And so I spent a lot of years looking for those kind of plants, and after we kind of got a collection.
And plants that do well in Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
Excuse me for interrupting, but,
yeah.
but really that is part of, I think, part of your mission here is plants that really will do well in Oklahoma, and you travel around the world.
Yeah. We've collected in different countries, places with climates that are really hot, because it gets so hot here in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But that is, you're absolutely correct. One of our criteria is the plant can't just be different and unique. It's got to perform well here in Oklahoma. So we don't offer anything here at the nursery unless we've had success growing it out in our garden.
Yeah, don't plan on finding anything fussy here that isn't really, I would say, almost bulletproof and tough as nails, because you've got a lot of natives here, a lot of natives to the prairie and other like climates around the world. So if you're from Oklahoma, you probably are very familiar with Stephen Bustani Farm. He's kind of an iconic horticulturalist in Oklahoma. We have known each other for a little while.
Yeah.
But you really are so well known for the singularity and the uniqueness of what you grow here, and you do lots of propagation as well.
Absolutely. We grow our plants. We're a true nursery in that we collect the seed, we take cuttings, and we produce a crop right here in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
A lot of nurseries, and that's okay. We'll buy in finished product that's been produced somewhere and bring in and offer that. And that's quite all right. But we like to produce our own plants, and that gives us control to be able to do this. And a lot of the stuff we have, you can't find wholesale plants anywhere to bring in. So that makes it fun. That's fun for me to produce a crop.
Yeah, and so we'll call it Oklahoma proven.
Sure.
It's Oklahoma proven. And not only are 99% of these plants drought and heat tolerant, but probably you and I were talking about this earlier, the prevalence of really strong wind and hail in Oklahoma on the prairie that is getting more extreme as time passes. Most of these plants are pretty naturally also resistant in those categories too, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. They got to tolerate those conditions as well. And anything native has obviously, it's handled that test years ago. Yeah, its predecessors.
Yeah, if it can grow on the prairie, it can grow in most places. Now, natives are huge now as a category.
Yes.
Natives are just extremely popular right now, and I think one thing that I am looking towards, since you know where I live in an older neighborhood in Oklahoma City in an urban environment, and
Very
yet,
nice garden.
And even I want to incorporate natives in a way that is contextual to where I live, and that's what I love coming up here. I can look at plants and I can see how I can kind of reframe the context to make it match for container gardens, for highly ornamental gardens, for highly, in some cases, even formal gardens. So in addition to natives, which are very, very popular right now, what other categories of plants do you sell that are just off the charts popular right now?
Well, these succulents, and I notice you've got a few here in your cart. You've been shopping a little bit.
And in fact, can we digress for just a moment? Tell me about this. This is new to me.
It's a square-stemmed, it's a type of pelargonium or geranium. A lot of folks refer to the pelargoniums as geraniums. But it's a very drought-tolerant plant. You can see the stems are green, and During extreme drought, it'll drop these leaves, but with all this green in the stems, it can still photosynthesize and feed itself. And in the summertime, it has gorgeous pink-purple flowers as well.
And the other thing that's wonderful about when you come to Bustani is all of the plants will have an image of the plant, what it looks like in flower, but it will also give you all sorts of cultural, environmental information, from the provenance of where it comes from, maybe some growing tips, or sometimes. But what I loved about this one, for example, is you have styling tips too, and you said it's a true succulent. So if you're going to plant it and you want to put it in a container, plant it with other succulents, which I plan on doing, because this is just wonderful. Okay, succulents for particularly young gardeners, apartment dwellers, urban gardeners. I think succulents are extremely popular right now, as long as you have, and hopefully you have bright light in those kind of conditions.
Yeah.
And
we've seen that uptick in the succulents, the house plants, particularly with the younger customers. Everybody has in the business, but succulents definitely getting popular.
Yeah, and the other category we were talking about, because obviously the ecology of all of this is never far from our minds as gardeners. So the other huge category of plants that you said is very popular right now.
The pollinator plants.
The pollinator plants.
Particularly the butterflies and some of the hummingbirds. This bench over here, we've got our benches numbered. This is bench 12. We usually set this up with a lot of plants for butterflies and hummingbirds. We have flowering plants for nectar for the adults. And then you can see down here we've got the dills, we've got the fennels, parsleys for the swallowtails, for their caterpillars to feed on.
Sure.
And then we've got some milkweeds and milkweed type plants down here for the monarchs.
And what did you say? You said earlier, what was your favorite butterfly, your favorite pollinator?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's on a different bench, but we have the perennial snapdragons, the pink Spanish snapdragon, and that will attract the buckeye butterfly to lay her eggs on that. They utilize, actually the buckeyes utilize a lot of different host plants, but the perennial snapdragons is one that we see them on out in the garden.
And you say that they're kind of tawny brownish with...
Yeah, they're gorgeous. It's my favorite butterfly. Yeah,
we need to get one of those for Carrie, Stuart. We need to get one for
gorgeous
her.
Spots.
Yeah,
really,
just
really pretty.
Just fabulous. Yeah. And Stuart, if you don't mind kind of just doing a scope, you have lots of people here. And obviously because of the popularity of what you grow, but also because you have a unique nursery kind of sales habit. You have special sales in certain windows of time throughout the course of the year.
Seasonal. We are kind of different than most other nurseries. First of all, we don't do a lot of trees or shrubs. We're primarily perennials, annuals, natives, vines. Not a lot of edibles. It's primarily ornamentals. That's kind of my thing I'm passionate about. And within this retail area, everything is in little nuggets. We grow the plants in our production greenhouses out back, and then we're constantly restocking, bringing more plants over and putting out just in a flat or two in this area, and then of course this year we got the new outside area. Where you were out there looking at the native plants.
I've got my eye on a few of those things. So you open around April 15th, and you said you're open till what, 1st of June?
The first Saturday in June. Yeah, we always open mid-April, and Tuesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 6, and we're open through the first Saturday in June.
So in Zone 7B, that's about our last frost date. Are you 7B
We're kind of right on the edge of 6-7.
6-7.
Yeah,
okay.
Stillwater
is north of Oklahoma City, so
about
it's
an hour,
about an hour north. And then in the fall, you also open up.
That is correct. We after June 4th, we'll close down for the summer, and then we'll reopen in September when it's time to plant those perennials for the fall. Yeah.
So in the past, I know. Stuart's fascinated by the name Bustani.
Oh yeah, well you mentioned earlier, we collected plants from different countries. One of the first countries we collected plants from to test and make sure they're not going to be a problem and perform well in Oklahoma was Kenya in Africa. And the word Bustani means garden in Swahili, yes. And so it's a garden plant farm, Bustani plant farm.
So is there a fairly rigorous system you have to go through to determine if a plant that is not native to North America and you bring it in to ensure
that would be a whole nother interview,
level,
not everyone should be doing this. Bringing plants in. When we bring a plant in, we look at it for maybe 5 years before we determine it's not going to be a seed issue, not going to cause problems, before we offer anything like that for sale.
So it's all responsibly done. We don't want anybody just going out there and breaking off something.
Yes, absolutely. And when we go to another country, we work with a botanist there to get the plants properly identified, so we know correctly what we're bringing back. And also, there are only certain things you can bring back.
Yeah.
There are a big list of prohibited species, prohibited families, that kind of thing. You have to get a phytosanitary certificate from the Ministry of Agriculture from the country you're coming from. You cannot bring any soil back.
Interesting.
You have to wash all the soil from the roots. It's a big process. Not everyone should be doing it.
Yeah.
And then when you come back here, you have to come through a airport with a USDA inspection station, so they can look at your plants and make sure everything's okay.
So this is a do not try this at home.
Leave it to the people that
leave it to the experts.
have the connections to do something.
So I had asked you earlier, I know it's like picking your favorite child, but if there was one plant that I need out of this gorgeous array.
I see you looking at Collector's Corner.
I know. I want one of everyone, but remember, my garden is small. But okay, Collector's Corner. If there's one plant you think I need,
well, obviously I think there are a couple dozen you need, but we've got a really cool new morning glory.
Okay.
We didn't bring it from anywhere out of America. It's been here, but it's a caduciform morning glory, and a caduciform plant is one with a swollen base that will allow the plant to survive drought by storing water.
Kind of like a sweet potato tuber.
Yeah, like a tuber is the root of a sweet potato. But this actually it gets a little woodier up on the stem as well. But it's got gorgeous lobed leaves and big pink flowers, and I think you'll like it. For a sunny area, put it in a pot, train it up on something.
So is it related to that magnificent woolly morning glory? We do lots, Stuart and I do lots of garden tours around the city, and particularly a number of them designed by my friend John Fluitt, has woolly morning glory that is just absolutely magnificent. But talk a little bit about the context of planting some of these things and being mindful of the space they might need and the scale that they might need to grow.
We try to put the size on the sign just so people will realize how big the plant's going to get. And that woolly morning glory, which is related to that other morning glory, same family, not the same genus, but it gets huge.
And I think that's a good tip, because some plants look wonderful in their 4-inch container and you see the picture of it in someone's garden or whatever, but if that doesn't kind of match the context of where you garden, you may not be able to do that plant justice. So I think when I come here, I have to come with a very discriminating eye about how and what plants will look best in the confines of my type of garden.
Absolutely, and you can study up on that if you go to our website. Sign up for our catalog. We send these out every year at the first of the year.
And by the way, this is a sure cure for the winter blues, because you get it in January.
About the 1st of January, But you can do your homework. You can practice up, and you can see what size and that kind of thing you want to have on the plant. And another thing we just briefly talked about earlier is how we here at the nursery we don't do a lot of woody plants, but we do a lot of perennials, and I don't say annual a lot.
Yes.
I call the plant tropical color plants, and that's because just to kind of help educate people what a true annual is. We were just talking about how an annual will sprout from seed, grow, flower, set seed, and die all in 1 year. And a lot of the things that we call annuals are actually tropical perennials or tropical shrubs. Because if you think about the lantana, it's actually
That's
a woody shrub, and it's not an annual. Although everybody calls it.
But we have followers from around the world, and so sometimes when I say, oh, for annual color, I'm going to plant lantana, and they're saying, well, isn't lantana perennial where you are?
Sure.
And so I was saying that sometimes we need to use those words, annual as more of an adjective or an adverb. I'm growing this annually.
Yes, very good.
Because it may not be cold hardy, and that's another thing, always to watch out for cold hardiness and whether or not you're going to have to bring it in. But those are all things to consider, and which is why I'm so glad that you pointed this out, because probably one of the biggest problems for new gardeners and for me as a passionate gardener is I come in here and I see all of these gorgeous plants and I get overwhelmed and I think, oh, I need one of this and I need one of that.
Well, we want you to be overwhelmed. We want you to want one of everything. But sensibly, your budget's got to come into reality.
Well, you're into reality, and you kind of have to have a plan because we want to be good stewards of the plants that we bring home. And I can't always be a good steward if I'm not thinking it through beforehand.
Sure, absolutely.
And that's why planning your wish list is a great idea. And can I also just say, put together a wish list while you're here for Mother's Day, because I could empty out half this place with my Mother's Day wish list. But again, if you see something, buy it, because it may not be here. That has happened to me more than once. As I'm thinking it through, oh, do I have a place for that? And then I come back to get it and it's no longer here. And this is a very vibrant place. You have lots of people right now and it's getting ready to be a little bit busier.
We're coming in the door.
We're coming in the door. I can't thank you enough, my friend. Oh, one last thing. Historically, you have had a fall festival here.
Yes.
And I was very privileged to be a speaker here in 2019, which was
very good speaker.
The last one that we were able to have before COVID. Yes. So I know so many people want to know about that. Will it be resurrected this year, do you think? Or?
Possibly. We may do like a one-day type of fall garden festival here at Bustani. We'll see. We're not going to rule it out. We're not officially saying yes, we're going to do it, but there's a possibility. We might put something together. But next year for sure.
But in the fall, whether or not you have the festival, people still will be able to come here and shop plants.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Our fall season, it's always
in fact, let's hold September. This up, Stuart,
and you get to you come and see the gardens. If you come right now in the spring, the gardens aren't that showy to look at, but in the fall, everything is planted. It's mature.
Oh, and it's fabulous.
It looks a lot better. The plant selection is different in the spring than in the fall as well. In the springtime, we have the biggest selection, the biggest availability of plants. But the gardens are not exciting to see in the springtime. In the fall, it's just the opposite. We don't have the number of plants available. We do have some things different, but we don't have the number of plants in the fall. But it's a really good time to check out the plants.
The gardens are magnificent, and you can see, and thank you kindly, sir, for all of the images you sent me of the beautiful wattle work. That's hard to say. Wattle work.
Yes.
Wattle fencing that you have on some of yours, and you gave instructions on how to construct it. And then one last thing, because I don't want to give anyone the wrong impression. You no longer do mail order.
No, we haven't done mail order since 2011.
Okay, because you get such good business.
We had so many people coming here, we decided we didn't have to do the mail order. We still have some big customers that I take plants to in Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. The Smithsonian buys plants from us. So we'll take a van load of plants out there. The U.S. Botanical Garden.
He's put Oklahoma on the map. He's put Oklahoma, nonchalantly.
It's just an Oklahoma plant geek goes to D.C. But and then Chanticleer up near Philadelphia, they buy stuff from us all the time.
Okay, now I can't.
Left over from the mail order days.
I keep trying to stop and not take up so much of your time. However,
Sure.
you have got to talk about this.
Oh, this,
So
yeah.
this.
Yes, I know
okay,
this is
coming
close to your
in.
heart.
Coming in, Steve. You are a plant geek. I am a topiary geek, and you know of my affection for topiaries.
I knew you would be interested in that.
Oh my gosh! So coming in, Stuart.
That's what was outside.
That's what was outside
Yes.
that I just squealed over
Yes.
with delight coming in, because you have a conical topiary of this already formed that's absolutely magnificent. Tell us about this plant.
Okay, this is a variegated caprosma. It's kind of a mouthful to say. They're plants from New Zealand, so they're not winter hardy, but you can bring them inside once you do all the work to them that you want. But you're holding it up right now, but naturally the plant, you can see it wants to spill. It's on our bench of spillers for containers for spilling, cascading out of pots. But we put 2 of these in that pot out front, and we trained them up that support. Just kind of made them grow the way they don't normally grow, and
Right.
intertwined them around all the parts of the support and like trimmed it a little bit, and it's easy to make.
And that's a good topiary tip, because a lot of times things that cascade also could go vertical if you give them a little bit of support. But can you guys imagine this, a bunch of this cascading over a stone wall or a concrete wall?
Looks great.
Or it's got that Mediterranean vibe I love so much.
Yes, it thickens up, and you can see it's green with a white edge on the leaves, but kind of from a distance, it's almost silvery looking, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I definitely squealed.
texture.
Let's do this. So, okay, one more thing. Oklahoma is becoming a destination place for a lot of different reasons. They were filming a movie around the corner from me the other day with Sylvester Stallone.
I saw that.
Yeah, and a lot of movies are coming to film in Oklahoma now. We've got a very thriving film industry, but obviously we also have a very thriving botanical industry here, and thanks to Steve. So if you are planning on coming to Oklahoma, I definitely would tell you to come to Stillwater. It's the home of Oklahoma State University, but go ahead and order the catalog so you can do your shopping. But if you are anywhere coming to Oklahoma, you want to come here as part of your vacay in the spring or in the fall, put your list together, because it is truly a special and a magical place, and you're a special and magical friend to do this.
Thank you. I
for
appreciate
me.
you coming.
Yes, thank you.
Very
dear.
good. Yeah.
Thumbnail, Stuart, we got to do that, right? Well, if you've held on this long and you did not blow away in this infernal Oklahoma wind, here is my outfit of the day. My sunglasses are from Target. My bag, which is one of my favorite summer bags, it's a woven one. I got this at a secondhand store in Bloomington, Indiana, near the campus of Indiana University. My top I bought online. It's similar to a blue one that I like so much. I bought it in another color. My breeches are linen, or a faux linen from Target. My belt I also got online. I'm really loving these belts because they are stretchy and they will form fit to really any length you need. So if you want to wear it tight and as a smaller size belt, or you want to wear it around your hips, it's easy to do that. I love these tennis shoes, you guys. I'm putting them on my Mother's Day gift list. Look at that fun weaving on the toe. These are Jatarka, and they are half the price of some of the more expensive kind of tennies that you can wear, like Vehas and Vans. I love these, and I will put a link, and I will also put them on my Mother's Day gift list. My bracelets, this is one of those wonderful African bead bracelets that I got from my friend Sherry in Santa Fe. This little bird bracelet is from Janet Mavick in Orchard Jewelry. This belonged to my mother-in-law, and this was a purchase from the French Cowgirl, a store that used to be on Western Avenue right around the corner from me in Oklahoma City. My earrings, almost forgot them. I got these from a street artist in Scissortail Park one Saturday afternoon. So there you go, there's my outfit of the day.